This is CBS News New York.
History today as the new NYPD police commissioner, Jessica Tisch, will be sworn in.
The mission is to keep you safe, to make you feel safe.
And she's starting the job at a challenging time. Mystery in Washington Heights. A father falls to his death during a home invasion, and we have exclusive video of one of the suspects going to great heights just to get inside. And Thanksgiving travel gets underway. The rush as millions of people hit the roads, rails, and skies. And a live look at our Skycam as we start off today with another cold morning. Our first alert forecast tracking those temperatures and the storm making its way in our direction this week for Thanksgiving. Good morning on this Monday, November 25th. I'm Chris Raggi.
I'm Mary Calvi. Welcome to CBS News New York, and let's get right to Tony Sadiku, who has all the details for us on the first alert forecast from our virtual studio. Tony.
Good morning there, Mary Chris. So we are watching some activity this week. It's going to be an active weather week, and confidence is growing that especially by Thanksgiving, we could run into some issues. By the way, there will likely be a hiccup tomorrow, too, with some wet weather moving in. And yes, there is a chill we're tracking, some of the coldest air of the season on the way, too. But let's talk rain for a moment, because when you look at the national picture, I mean, for most of the country, it's quiet. That includes us. But there's a system working through the Great Lakes. That's going to be ours to deal with this time tomorrow. There's some wet weather moving through. Meanwhile, another atmospheric river charge event rolling through the west. That is the piece of energy we'll be watching going coast to coast with impacts to the East Coast later in the week. At the moment, it doesn't get better than this. It's a crisp start to the day, 40s in Massapequa. You look at some of these numbers too in Jersey, 40 right now in Tottenville. But we got numbers in the 30s from West Milford up towards Goshen. So there is a bit of a chill in the air. Quick look at what's in store for the day ahead. A lot of sunshine with numbers in the 50s. But numbers like this only here for a limited time. We're tracking the chill and timing out the rain in your full first alert forecast. Morning, Guy.
Good morning, Tony. We continue to have police activity on the inbound upper level at the George Washington Bridge. This has been going on since 4:30. The two right lanes remain blocked across the span. The outbound lane closure has cleared out. We have at least a 30-minute wait at the upper level tolls. The lower has a 20-minute wait. We have a new problem in Queens. We have a crash. It is at least one lane closed in the southbound BQE at Queens Boulevard. Delays there are back to the Grand Central Parkway. Alternate side parking is in effect today citywide. Chris and Mary, back to you.
Guy, thank you so much. Today, Jessica Tisch will be sworn in as the new NYPD commissioner.
Tisch, who has been in charge of the Department of Sanitation for the last 2 years, previously served as the NYPD's Deputy Commissioner for Information and Technology. Christina Fan is live outside police headquarters in Lower Manhattan. Christina.
Mary and Chris, good morning. Jessica Tisch will be making history not only as the second woman to serve as the commissioner of the department in its 179-year history. She will also become the fourth top cop under the Adams administration since he took office in 2022. Her key priorities include restoring trust and public confidence in the NYPD, which has been plagued by scandal. Tisch is replacing interim Commissioner Thomas Donlan, who ran the department after Commissioner Edward Caban resigned in September. Federal agents seized Caban's cell phone in one of 5 criminal investigations that involved members of the mayor's inner circle. Several NYPD officials also had their phones seized in the probe that involves Caban's twin brother, James, and allegations that James used his police connections to win favorable treatment of nightclubs facing violations. Adams called Tisch a battle-tested leader. She has served as the sanitation commissioner for the last 2 years and is also a 12-year veteran of the police department.
I hear you loud and clear. The mission is to keep you safe, to make you feel safe, and to improve your quality of life, to restore dignity and order to every street, every neighborhood, every borough in the city of New York.
Crime has dropped since Adams took office, but the department faces other problems, including understaffing and attrition. Mayor Adams has taken steps to help bolster the department's numbers, announcing plans to hire 1,600 new cops starting in January. Tisch's swearing-in ceremony is scheduled for 11 o'clock this morning. Reporting live from One Police Plaza, Christina Fan, CBS News, New York.
Christina, thank you. Former New York State Assemblyman Michael Blake is now entering the race to become the next mayor of New York City. Blake has established an exploratory committee and has launched a new campaign website. The 41-year-old Blake served in the state assembly for 6 years representing the Bronx. He worked for 2 years in the Obama administration and was a former vice chair with the Democratic National Committee. Blake becomes the 7th high-profile candidate to enter the mayor's race.
6:05 right now. The NYPD is investigating a home invasion turned deadly in Washington Heights.
Police say the suspects got away with thousands of dollars worth of jewelry and cash. CBS2's Elijah Westbrook joins us live from the scene with exclusive video of the suspects in action. Elijah.
Well, more than 48 hours, Chris and Mary, since the death of 73-year-old Jacinto Remigio. Still, many questions remain at this time, including how he fell, my goodness, from this 6th-floor apartment window you see up here on 161st Street before he unfortunately died on the scaffolding below you see here above the sidewalk. And detectives are telling us that the home invasion started when 3 men broke into Remigio's 6th-floor apartment in this building here on 161st Street. Surveillance video shows one of the suspects walking on the scaffolding, at one point covering the surveillance camera. Then one of them enters the building and takes the elevator to get to the 6th floor. He waits for the other 2 to climb up the fire escape and lets them in. Investigators say once inside that apartment, the 3 perpetrators tie up Remigio's 40-year-old son. The suspects were told stole an $8,000 gold chain along with $200 cash. But even worse, once officers arrived at the apartment, they found Remigio on the 2nd floor scaffolding. He was pronounced dead at Harlem Hospital. The circumstances surrounding how he fell are still under investigation, and police are trying to determine if the suspects knew their victims and why they were targeted. That is the latest at this time here in Washington Heights. I'm Elijah Westbrook, CBS News, New York.
Elijah, thank you. The NYPD still looking for the person involved in a slashing attack outside of Brooklyn's subway station. These are surveillance images of the man police are trying to find. The attack happened outside the Utica Avenue train station in Crown Heights around 10 o'clock Friday night. We're told a 19-year-old was slashed across his face and neck after an argument. At last check, the teenager was in stable condition at the hospital.
President-elect Trump's incoming administration being viewed favorably by many people, according to a new CBS News poll. 59% of those polled between November 19th and November 22nd approve of Trump's handling of the transition team. 41% disapprove, and 76% say the Senate should hold confirmation hearings for Trump's cabinet appointments and not use recess appointments. We'll have a more in-depth look at the appointments coming up at 6:30.
New this morning, just as a busy Thanksgiving travel week is getting underway, airport workers in Charlotte, North Carolina are out on strike. Workers at Charlotte Douglas International walked off the job just over an hour ago. They're doing it in protest of what they are calling unlivable wages. Employees of ABM and Prospect Airport Services voted Friday to authorize the work stoppage. Those companies contract with American Airlines to provide services, including cleaning airplanes, removing trash, and escorting passengers in wheelchairs.
Meantime, AAA expecting a record number of people to hit the roads, rails, and skies this season. At the airports, the TSA says close to 3 million people will fly on Tuesday and Wednesday, but next Sunday could crack 3 million, an all-time record. There were a few delays Sunday at Newark Liberty, but a shortage of air traffic controllers could change that. In recent days, hundreds of flights there have been delayed by up to 3 hours due to a lack of manpower. We spoke exclusively with a spokesperson for United Airlines.
We're working with them every single day. They're doing everything they can to produce some new controllers. And just like pilots, you don't produce that overnight.
Most people are planning to drive, about 72 million, according to AAA. They say the best time to hit the road is early in the morning on Thanksgiving. The worst times are Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons. And we're going to keep you covered during this busy holiday week. Look for travel updates and your first alert weather on air and streaming at CBS News New York. And meteorologist Tony Sadiku is in our virtual studio with more this morning. Hi, Tony.
Hey there, Chris. Of course, travel weather on a lot of folks' minds, and thankfully it's a quiet start to the week, so traveling on a Monday, it's all good. But let's get you ready for the day as you look in your closet for maybe what to wear on a morning like this. And I would certainly go coats, hats, scarf, gloves. Basically, you're dressing for November. We do have seasonal numbers this afternoon with sunshine, so perhaps you're shedding layers. But one thing you're not going to need today, it's the rain gear. It's a beautiful start to the day. By tomorrow, that changes. See that system moving through? That is the first of a a pair of storm systems are watching. Busy travel week ahead. We'll have all those details in your full First Alert forecast. But for now, let's get back to Guy. He's got an update on your First Alert traffic.
Thank you, Tony. We continue to have police activity on the inbound upper level at the George Washington Bridge. The right lane remains blocked across the span. At least a 30 to 40-minute wait at the upper tolls. The lower is sitting at a 20-minute delay. The Lincoln and Holland are just minor, maybe 10 minutes. And a First Alert traffic heads up for upcoming issues. Tomorrow, Tuesday, November 26th, is another gridlock alert day. And we have the Thanksgiving Day Parade on Thursday. Alternate side parking will be fully suspended on Thursday, but I don't recommend driving into the city. Alternate side parking is in effect today citywide. Chris and Mary, back to you.
Okay, Guy, thank you. Coming up, adultery now legal in New York State. Why the century-year-old law has been abolished.
And why today we'll be seeing the Menendez brothers for the first time in many years. It's a major development in the notorious case that is getting renewed attention.